Welcome to my very first landscaping project. What you're looking at is what I call an eyesore lawn, and this is my eyesore lawn. And as you can see, this isn't a very large yard. Approximately 12 years ago, I cared for a lovely lawn for about 6 years. Then, thereafter, I had difficulties in growing grass. My lawn had weeds and crabgrass. This was a very beautiful evergreen tree until it was damaged by the blizzard of 2010. Here's a close-up shot of my lawn where you can really see the type and texture of what's growing. Pretty much everything else except grass. Fast forwarding to the beginning stages of my very first planting and landscaping project. Now there was a lot of preparation even before this stage. As you can see, all the crabgrass and weeds were dug up. This was a very daunting and tedious task. It took a day and a half to completely clear it down to the soil layer. The soil was in pretty bad shape, so I purchased the best brand of soil within budget. In planting, I mixed a little of the bad soil with the good topsoil so as not to shock the plant roots. In each of these pictures, you can really see how the new soil enhances the initial stage of the landscape. The photographs show the type of plants that I began planting. Later in the video, I'll give you the names of the various plants. My idea was to line up some plants as to make a border to distinguish my yard from my neighbor's yard. I chose to plant corabels to do this, and a 5 o'clock plant. Rounding off the back with a weigela, which you'll be able to see a better picture shortly. And also in the back are azaleas, coleus, hostas, and lamb's ear. These are daylilies, and next to this plant is a dwarf andromeda. Some of the plants were purchased from nurseries in our area. They were very reasonably priced, anywhere from $2 to $30. Here's a great shot of the azaleas. Also, quite a few of my plants were obtained from the Maryland Plant Swap in Burtonsville, Maryland, which takes place in early April. I really learned a lot about planting by attending this event. Here's a shot of my Bradford pear tree. I planted this tree approximately 12 years ago. It's been a wonderful tree for shading and aesthetics for the house and yard, but some time ago I was told it was not the best tree to plant or to have, at least in the state of Maryland. I also would like to say, during the planting season, people really start early. I never seen anything like it. Folks bolted out of the gates, into the stores, and items were flying off the shelves. They take the planting season very seriously. So get your hat, your gloves, your plants, and the equipment as early as possible. So on this strip, you'll find another dwarf andromeda, blue oriental grass, red, yellow, and green coleus. The coleus, they're very small right now. Here's a golden mauve, which I fell in love with when I saw it at one of the home shows in Prince George's County. Panning over to the larger space of the yard, we have another look at the lamb's ear. They have a very soft feel to the leaves. And again, here are more coleus and hostas. The oriental blue grasses were planted on each side of the sidewalk, as were the andromeda, to give balance. I'm excited to see the growth of these in the spring of 2011. Here's another full view of my Bradford pear tree. Again, it's 12 years old, and I planted this tree myself. I keep it well pruned, so hopefully it won't split. Here's another look at the dwarf andromeda. This is a very, very attractive plant. This plant blooms nicely. And here are the day gladiolas, which I picked up from the plant swap in early April. I planted 5 bulbs and was very, very amazed as I watched them grow taller and taller each day. Here we have the 5 o'clock, another plant I picked up from the plant swap. Here are my daylilies, again, another free plant provided from the plant swap. These are sedums, which I've had for 12 years. This year, I split them into 2 plants. This one is a Japanese sky pencil. It's the replacement for the larger evergreen that was damaged by the snowstorm earlier this year. This plant really resembles a weed to me, but it's called a sundrop. I thought I would see blooms this year, but I didn't. I understand the plant is very invasive, so I'll be a little excited to see how it blooms next year within a yard. A little about the mulch. I bought about 10 bags. I have one more layer to put down for winter. Now here are the corabels. When I saw them at the nursery, I thought they were very beautiful and would make a great yard border. They come in various colors. You'll see at the end they didn't grow too well throughout the season. We really had a very nice, warm, hot summer. And this is my butterfly bush. I had the pleasure of seeing butterflies visit me all summer long, monarchs as well. These are the lamb's ear again, oriental bluegrass, yarrow, and dusty miller. As I was trying to be more creative, I found these nice pavers and decided to make a path through my yard. I'm very pleased with them as they've brought more appeal and essence to my landscape project. Now here's a sneak peek of my backyard. It's not looking very healthy or appealing to the eye right now. This is my project for next year. Take a look at the grass. And believe it or not, I had a nice grade of grass for about 7 years. Then it began to deteriorate and erode. And experts said that it might be from the lack of sun since the trees have grown very tall in the last 12 years. So there's very little afternoon sunlight and the duration of sun is short. Over the winter months, I will be planning 2 projects. One to build a small patio and the other to landscape with plants and to start a small vegetable garden. So take a last-minute look because the next time you see it, it will be transformed into a beautiful garden. I'm really looking forward to rolling up my sleeves and starting the process all over again. I'm Ty Robbins. I would like to leave with you some still shots showing the different stages of planting as well as what it looks like to date as we enter the fall season. Also take notice that I did add extra landscaping lightings and brick borders. It's been a pleasure to share my first landscaping project with you. There's truth in enjoying the fruits of your labor. These last pictures were taken October 8th, 2010. See you next year in the spring.